What's going on, YouTube? Man, back at it again. Hey, it's gonna be my new intro right here. So y'all do me a favor, like that video, share that video, subscribe to the channel. Hey man, you already know the vibes. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the video. Hope you like it. What's going on, YouTube, man? First of all, I want to say rest in peace to that little 14-year-old kid, man, who fell off the theme park ride. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on it. I'm not gonna put y'all can go check the news story out. I'm not gonna put none of the news stories or nothing like that in here. But so basically, this little 14-year-old boy got killed on a theme park ride in Orlando. And it's just sad, man. It's just sad. At the beginning of the video, you can hear, you know, some of the people asking, you know, the person who working there, he's asking them like, okay, why doesn't these seat belts have, you know, the clicky things? And the man who works there, he's sitting there saying, yeah, this ride goes 430 feet in the air. It drops down at 70 miles per hour. You know, and by you saying that as a worker, that should make you go check up, you know, everybody's seatbelt. I'm gonna try to make it, you know, I'm trying to, excuse me for my hesitance of talking, you know, I'm just, you know, I want to keep in mind of what I'm saying, and I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or be disrespectful. But I hear a lot of people talking about the dude's size. The guy was a 14-year-old, but he was like 6'1". It looked like, you know, 230 pounds. You know, he was a big guy. He played football too. And me personally, I mean, it's hard to say should the guy have been on the ride or not, because some rides are equipped to hold certain people, but some rides aren't. Me personally, I feel like he shouldn't have been on the ride. He was just too big of a guy. And by him being that big of a guy, I feel like the person who worked there, I kind of put the blame on them, because he's just a 14-year-old kid. You can't blame him. I mean, you can't blame him. He's a 14-year-old kid. He's not thinking, oh, I'm too big. No, he just see a fun ride. He having fun, man. You gotta understand, as a kid, you just not thinking like that. It may cross your mind, but if the guy says it's okay for you to ride, you gonna think, okay, it's okay for me to get on. I blame the people who was working that ride. Y'all should have checked them. You should have double checked them. And then you should have triple checked him. Or you should have just not let him on the ride if you was unsure. If you had any thought in your mind like, oh, this guy might be too big, you should have been like, nah, I can't let you get on this ride, man. You too young and you too big. Just like you got to be a certain height to ride a ride, you have to be a certain weight to ride a ride too. I mean, these rides are going so far in the air and moving so fast. You got to put people's body weight in consideration, just like they put their height in consideration. I'm just pissed, man, because he was a child, bro. He was a child. And he lost his life at an amusement park. I mean, my condolences go out to his mom and his family, man. I can't imagine. I can't imagine, man. But us as parents, man, us as adults, we have to protect these kids more than what we're doing, man. I mean, I'm trying to think if I was a parent. I mean, I am a parent, but I'm trying to think if my child was as big as him, would I let my child get on that ride? And I don't know. Like, I have no knowledge about what that ride does and what it can hold, and as far as how much weight can it hold. I would assume that he could get on it. So that's how I know he probably would assume that he could get on it. Normal 14-year-old kids aren't that size. He was a big guy. And I mean big as in a good way. Like, he was a football player. He was a big guy. And I don't know the story as far as who he was at the ride with. Like, who was he there with? I don't know if he was with his family or what, but how the ride started off, if you go look at the news story, the ride, I mean, it started off weird. Like, people were asking weird questions. First, the guy says, this ride goes 430 feet up in the air. It's going to drop at 70 miles per hour. And then some lady is like, why doesn't this ride have the seatbelt clicky things? So in my head, when the lady said that, I'm like, why are you on it? If you asking that question, why are you on the ride? I don't know if she was on the ride or if she was standing out behind the dude, whoever was taking the camera. I don't know if that was her. Like, I just don't know where that came from. But somebody said, why doesn't this ride have the seatbelt click things? And at that moment, I would have been like, what? This bitch go 430 feet up in the air. It dropped down at 70 miles per hour, and it doesn't have a seatbelt that clicks. And in the video, we didn't see the guy who worked there. We didn't see him double checking people's seatbelts. One of the family members said that he was panicking going up. And my thing is, if he was panicking going up, that means his seatbelt wasn't locking before the ride even started. Because for you to panic as the ride is going up, unless you're panicking off of the height, like, if you're scared of heights and you just, oh shit, I'm up here. Like, was he panicking because he was so high up, or was he panicking because as he was going up, he realized his seatbelt wasn't working proper? At the end of the day, man, I blame the workers. I mean, who else? I blame the work. I mean, you can't blame the kid. He's a fucking child. He's a child, bro. Any 14-year-old kid that go to an amusement park gonna want to get on the rides. It's up to the adult to say, no, you're too small. No, you're too big. Whatever the case is, it's okay to say, no, child, you're too big to ride this ride. I don't want you to die. Some people scared because they don't want to hurt the child feelings. Like, oh, I don't want to call the child fat or say he too big. So they don't want to, hurt their feelings. It's a tough situation because it's like, but at that time, bro, when it comes to people's life, when your life is getting put in jeopardy, you got to put everything behind you and say, look, you cannot do this. You might die or you might get seriously injured. And I can't have that on my conscience while I'm at work on my watch. But y'all go check the video out and let me know what y'all think, man. Sad situation. Rest in peace to that boy, man. Rest in peace to that boy. Catch y'all next one.